Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. My name is Mace, coming to you from Canada. Today we're checking out a video on Pine Gap, which I guess is a CIA base within Australia, just south of Alice Springs. Video titled, "One of the world's most secretive spy bases is in the Australian outback." I believe there's a TV series. I remember seeing and being somewhat intrigued at a title card for an Australian TV series that was called Pine Gap. I just want to double check that. Pine Gap TV series. Yeah, Pine Gap television series. There it is. It's an Australian series. Pine Gap is an Australian television drama and thriller series that was released on Netflix and broadcast on ABC in 2018. Six-part series was written by Greg Haddock and Felicity Packard. The overview. Pine Gap is an international political thriller set around the Australian-United States Joint Defense Intelligence Facility at Pine Gap. Okay, I'm interested in Pine Gap. I want to learn more. We might have to do some more intensive videos, comprehensive videos about this place. Curious what they do and how that came about. Let's check it out.
Hidden in the folds of these outback ranges is the most secretive military intelligence facility in the country. I'm climbing up to get a glimpse of Pine Gap, the eyes and ears of the world, tucked away in the Australian desert.
The eyes and ears of the world. Okay, so seems to be some radar technology. What are those spherical buildings?
What goes on here has been shrouded in secrecy for decades.
Prime Ministers
Research
have
and development.
either obscured the truth or told a very partial and limited version of that, and Australians have really been kept in the dark.
Set up as a space base by America's CIA in the late 1960s, Pine Gap has drawn speculation from the beginning.
I'd like to see the officer in charge, please.
It's kind of giving Area 51 vibe.
You're from your TV?
ABC television.
It's Area 52.
Sorry.
During the Cold War, the base eavesdropped on the Soviets' missiles and got caught up in the downfall of a prime minister.
There now need be no secrecy.
I've been a journalist here in Alice Springs for 16 years, and what strikes me is how no one really talks about Pine Gap. That silence has fueled all sorts of rumours around town and drawn thousands of protesters here to the heart of the country to try and shut the secretive base down.
So, like, they don't even know what the government's doing. It's probably not as nefarious. I don't know. But whatever the case, all these protesters are there to shut it down, but they don't even know what they do.
Over the decades, protesters have accused the base of drawing Australia into conflicts abroad and making the nearby town of Alice Springs a nuclear target. Former spy David Rosenberg worked at Pine Gap for almost 2 decades and says the base's intelligence is crucial on the battlefield.
When you have satellites where you can collect intelligence that will tell you where your targets are, you can then use your munitions to go after those targets.
The Israel
So he's basically saying that the base collects radar information or conducts surveillance. I wonder why this particular area, or even having this base, interesting. It's been there since the 60s too.
the battlefield.
When you have satellites where you can collect intelligence that will tell you where your targets are, you can then use your munitions.
So yeah, satellites collecting intelligence to be able to pinpoint where your targets are to use your munitions. But why does that have to be at a specific location such as Pine Gap? Like I am intrigued.
To go after those targets.
The Israel-Gaza war has Pine Gap back in the spotlight.
I'm convinced that Pine Gap provides data and signals and tracking information to Israel.
What we can be assured by is that the policy frameworks and the laws that we abide by mean that no information is being used irresponsibly.
The Australian Defence Department says Pine Gap is one of the country's most long-standing security arrangements with the US, but wouldn't comment on whether it's sharing intelligence with Israel in its war against Gaza.
There's at least a strong moral case to be made for it telling its citizens if it is collecting intelligence for a foreign power, and which foreign power.
David Rosenberg says it's a strategic asset for any government to have in their backyard.
If you were the Prime Minister of Australia, wouldn't you want to have access to intelligence that would be useful to protect your citizens?
As multiple global wars escalate, some analysts are calling out the risk.
Pine Gap continues to be, and probably is more so, a nuclear target in certain respects than ever before.
A stark warning about a remote, secretive base with implications for all. Alex Barwick, ABC News, Alice Springs.
I mean, it's not a very big base. I get the nuclear fear, I guess, if they believe that it would be a strategic target to be taken out by, say, like the Russians or the Chinese or whatever it might be. I think these types of things like this base, I'm probably out of my depth a little bit geopolitically, and when it comes to espionage, spies, intelligence, I don't think, us laymen really understand what goes on. Some of it's probably a lot more boring than we think. Some of it's probably not. Some of it's probably is nefarious. Some of it. But the thing is, we kind of conjure images in our mind of all of the media that we've consumed about intelligence agencies, the CIA, the FBI, and all of these worldwide espionage, spy films, movies, TV series. I did watch one the other day, or a couple of months ago, on Amazon or Paramount Plus. What was it called? I can't even remember the title of it. God damn it. Shit. It's with Michael Fassbender. It's called The Agency, and he's a CIA operative, and it kind of delves into the toll of being a spy, because you can't have a normal life, especially these type of operatives that are assuming entire different identities, going into very, very risky and volatile and dangerous situations, trying to secure intelligence. And you have different stakeholders, different countries. They all have different motives and different needs and different levels of power. So it's certainly interesting. I always think like, okay, how do they find their candidates? These are people with like master's degrees or like doctorates. I don't know if the agency, like the CIA, for instance, or what the equivalent to a CIA is within Australia. Like Canada has CSIS. But yeah, like how do they recruit their agents? And you need a certain aptitude, a certain temperament, I think, to exist and work in those spaces. And it's probably, yeah, we probably have a bit of a glorified perception of spies and secret bases, right? Like we see the word even secretive spy base. It's like, ooh, cool, mysterious. But yeah, I want to look more into Pine Gap. If you guys have any insights or the down low on Pine Gap a little bit, or theories that you want to share, hit me up down below in the comments. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace out, my friends. Later.